So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me, nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
He forgot about it last year, too. He sounds lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched on for miles and miles as far as the eye can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gotten all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sand castles. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on a beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight, as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horrible fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up what I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea come up on me when the door opens.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
Maybe she's pregnant. That's all I managed to say before vomiting again into the porcelain throne. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. After 7 years, you've never gotten sick before? Unlikely.
Just very vain. Very vain.
The last time I've had a horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away months to frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from that time. Sure, they still know of me, and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time. But I've lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any of the friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans, teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting.
Why would you cover your mouth? Throw up in your hand?
I'm disgusting.
Aw. Luke sits down next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair even as I cough up more fish. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it?
He's pregnant. Pregnant.
I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
You're vomiting.
What's so funny?
He's trying to lighten the mood.
No, it's just like, why? It's like I told you not to eat those sweets. Whatever.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
Vomit face? That's really creepy, because it changed. He starts chuckling, and soon enough, he's in a fit of laughter. This scene happening next to a loo filled with sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it, though, as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
When he would not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat, and I forgot whatever ill feelings plagued me. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face. The little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these memories will not last forever. But if I just know the terrible things that are to come for us, what? I would have wished with everything I have then and there that the laughter stayed.
I think it should have been if I had just known. And this would be a voice from the future.
All right.
Hiya! Come on now!
Come on now. The place is bustling with movers, carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse.
We should look at our relationships.
Relationships.
It's a new day.
Luke and Marianne went up.
Good.
Good.
I don't know.
Even despite the fact that we yelled at Luke earlier. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now!
Oh, that fist again.
Smack you with this.
I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's a
Mahogany.
No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
I can see the exasperation, and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Johannes rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I have gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One little thing out of place, one little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let Johannes and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom.
Wow.
Four-poster, gold trim.
They obviously haven't changed it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that ceiling, though. That's quite nice.
This place has been arranged first so that... has been arranged first so that we can get some rest, no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. Oh, so they have.
But they left all the old paintings. And it's pink.
I'm definitely glad I can just lie down on a soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching act Luke.
What?
This is not the Bible. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is just tiring all on its own. Oof. Now I'm having trouble reading.
And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
Well, I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hana. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
That's a lot of alliteration. Farm just filled with felines that follow you. Nice work, Hana.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess? I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute. If you think about it, a cat would be better.
We laugh. Because we're so darn funny. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sort of things. To joke around as if we're teenagers again, with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest-to-goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time as of late. And I can only see it as signs of good things to come.
All good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing a line. I didn't say that I'm a good comedian. I didn't say that I am a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
That fist, he's so pissed. I just rhymed
He really doesn't want kids.
No.
Why are they married?
I don't know.
What? I wasn't being serious.
Yes, you were.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hana. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
Top one.
Mm-hmm.
What should I say?
So that's really the question is like, is he deflecting and or is that actually his real fear?
I wish there was, well, I'll be a great mother.
Well, if we take him at his word and that's what that's a legitimate fear he has, then obviously it would be the first one.
I get this inkling that he's abusive.
I get this feeling he's a lot of unsavory things.
I would do the top one.
Okay, that's kind of what I'm leaning at. I'm just thinking in the meta sense about how earlier we had the option of being silent or standing up, and here we have the option of basically the same thing. Of being silent or standing up. So, stand up. You'll be a great father.
Carly likes you well enough.
The mention of our little goddaughter places a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it is cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl. But then, sometimes it's sad, and it makes me wonder what happened to him to make him think so poorly of himself in this regard.
Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everybody and, on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great, but if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day. Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
I have never heard him talk about his father in anything but a business context. I recall Damien Wright kept hearing about him from my own father, even before I met Luke. The business would praise him for running a tight ship, all until—
Business World praised him.
Oh. Oh no. The business world praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led to a great loss for the Enterprise. It was then that news of Luke Wright, Prodigy's son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in its recovery and growth up until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I've never heard him talk about his father like one would talk about family.
I think you'll be a great father.
Aw, there is a smile, no matter how half-hearted it may be. I do really think that. He might not be a good, honest man. A part of me knows that. Oh no, though I try to silence it.
Okay, so she's not completely an idiot. That's good. This is good.
But I know Luke well enough that he will be a better father than either Damian Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had the time. Well, neither does Luke.
If it is any consolation, I think you'd be a decent mother.
Decent, that's lovely, thanks. On the other hand, I have never heard of his mother. A silence settles, both comfortable and uncomfortable. That doesn't make sense. There is familiarity in each other's company, despite the awkwardness that had transpired. Defenses and masks down, without anybody else looking, we are both together and alone in this quiet. But a crash from downstairs startles us both out of our reverie. I thought that was you. Luke lets out a heavy sigh before coming up to his feet and straightening his jacket.
I'll have to attend to that then.
Calm down.
Be good, darling. And watch out for your blood pressure.
He gives me a kiss on the cheek before leaving, while I lay there in a daze. Alone, as per usual. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I've rolled over to line my stomach at this point, with my face buried in the pillows, when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as a voice comes from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh, yes. People had caught wind of our new mansion the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boasted he could acquire the property in no time and allowed a photo shoot for an interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications and it took longer than it usually does for us.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.